you'll find the slides as well as the recording, inshallah. So let's begin with the ayat of Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحج أشهر معلومات ومن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى واتقون يا أولي الألباب آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. Ayat number 197, Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Al-Hajju Ashhurun Ma'lumat. Hajj is performed in specified, well-known months. We cannot perform Hajj anytime we want. There are special months that beginning of Shawwal all the way to Hajj. Right? These are the months when Hajj is performed. That means you can do Umrah Tamattu, for example, in Shawwal or Zulqa'dah, and then go and try to attend to your own business, and then again continue with Umrah Hajj Tamattu. So there is a special season when Hajj is performed. وَمَنْ فَرَضَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجَّ. So whosoever has decided to go, proceed for Hajj, this applies to all of us who are planning to go for Hajj. وَمَنْ فَرَضَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجَّ فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. Then there is no sexual contact, no abuse, no disputing the Hajj. Now you would notice that although there are 25 things which are haram, forbidden in ihram, in this ayat there is a mention of only 3 things. فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. There is no sexual contact and there is no abuse, nor is disputing allowed in Hajj. But these are just sample of things which are forbidden. As we are going to discuss, inshallah, there are many other things which are forbidden, but just sample, right? Allah says, وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمْهُ اللَّهُ. Whatever good you do, right? Allah is fully aware of that. And this is important. Allah Matawatwai says that although, of course, we go to Hajj, we are aware, we are going Hajj for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are responding to Allah's call, right? By saying Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. But even then Allah is reminding us, He says, وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمْهُ اللَّهُ. Allah Ta'ala says on Mizan that this is a reminder to us that every good action which we do, even to the extent that what our intentions are, what are we intending, what is our niyyah? Every action which we are performing, are we doing for the sake of Allah? Are we doing it, for example, just to please someone, to show to someone, or even, for example, just to say, no, this is a burden on me, this is a wajibat on me, I would like to relieve. This is also not a bad reason, but the best reason should be that, no, it is for the sake of Allah. No, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, right? Here I am, oh Allah, here I am. Responding to your call. So, وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمْهُ اللَّهُ. Whatever good you do, every small and big action of good deed, right? Every action, big and small deed we perform, Allah is aware of it. وَتَزَوَّدُوا. When Allah says, make provision. It means prepare yourself. And one of the things we are doing, for example, today, as we have gathered here to participate in this webinar, also is part of preparation. وَتَزَوَّدُوا. But of all the preparations which you have, for example, you are attending this seminar, or you are going to apply for your visa, you went for a vaccination shot, you are going to just get your tickets done, everything else you are preparing for the Hajj, right? Of all these, Allah says, in the khayr az-zadi taqwa. The best provision of all this preparation is what? Taqwa, piety. In other words, make sure that we are wearing the cloth, the dress of taqwa, right? We are wearing the dress of taqwa at every stage. And what is taqwa? Very simply put, is that we are God conscious, right? Everything what we do, we are keeping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala back of our mind. I would not say anything, I will not do anything I would not take a single step except that I have in fact what kept Allah in my mind. I will see that would Allah like this thing, does Allah approve of that? So that is taqwa. In the khair of taqwa, the best provision is taqwa. But takuni ya ulil albab. And having said that this is the best thing, Allah again closes this ayat and instructing us. Because maybe sometimes someone would say, okay, this is the best thing. But Allah did not ask us to do it. Allah says, He's telling us, Allah is telling us that taqwa is best. And then He says, no, taqwa is not only best, but I want you to practice taqwa. But takuni ya ulil. So taqwa is best not just theologically or philosophically or just for the argument's sake or for the literature's sake or for the webinar's sake. No. Allah says, but takuni ya ulil albab. In fact, fear me. Have my taqwa, right? The best for taqwa, and just fear me, people or those who have understanding. Those who are understanding and those who can reason. Ya ulil albab, right? A good ayat. So, in fact, this ayat also helps us to emphasize that point that one of the preparation is the spiritual preparation, which is also important, which we are going to discuss, inshallah, in this webinar. Inshallah, we plan to cover the following things within the time we have. Preparation before departure, essential things during the trip, Ziyarat of Madina, significance and reputation, things needed at the holy places in Medina, in Makkah, in Arafat, in Mina, in Muzdalifah. If you have time, we try to cover all those things. Spiritual benefits of Ziyarat and Umrah and Hajj, educational, social, and economical benefits of Hajj themselves. Umrah and Tamattu, we'll just discuss very briefly some of the masail, just the basic things required for Umrah and Tamattu. And of course, after Umrah Tamattu comes Hajj Tamattu. We will not discuss today Hajj Tamattu simply because if we were to discuss just now, perhaps you would forget. Every group has an alim or a guide who would help you, inshallah, cover those things. In any case, if we discuss all those details now, we may want to forget by the time we go there. So we will just give you some ideas, inshallah, and we'll also give you some of the books if you need. Questions and answers, which are, in case you have any questions, we'll try to answer those things. We'll go to the next slide. Before we depart, it is important that we are mentally and spiritually prepared for the trip. It should not be that a person is so preoccupied with his work, with his family, with other commitments, that he or she is not prepared, and just on a weekend, your wife or your spouse says, okay, we are traveling now, make sure that you are ready. So we just get things ready and go. Or there are people who are so busy that they would only start preparing 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours before departure, or just the night before departure. That should not be the case. Let's be mentally prepared and spiritually prepared. That yes, we are going there. We are going for a very special trip. For some of us, this is the first Hajj. Some of us will perform the Hajj, but are not very much pleased regarding what happened a few years ago. So in that case, you would like to, in fact, just prepare well. So we are spiritually prepared and also mentally prepared. Right? Free of debt. Let's try to be free of debt. If you have any kind of debt, debt can be a financial debt, can be a social debt, can be an ethical debt, right? In my interaction with people, I was mean. I sometimes say things which might have hurt them, right? Or, for example, I might have, God forbid, backbited someone, right? Or I might have somebody's debt, money. I have to be free of that. And our experience shows that if you talk to your family members, your friends, your acquaintances, your fellow workers sincerely, for the sake of Allah, that so and so I'm proceeding for Hajj. We work together, we live together. I might have said certain things, I might have done certain things. Perhaps I did not take into consideration your feelings. Please forgive me. I'm going for Hajj. I would really appreciate it. Even that person might have said over my dead body when he or she was angry with you, but because you are going for Hajj, they would forgive you. So this is the best time for us to free ourselves of this kind of burden. Let's try to do. Also, especially religious views. If there is khums which is wajib, there will be 2-3 slide discussion about khums. So we'll just be patient. If there is zakat, for example, zakat al-fitra or anything which is wajib on you, just make sure that you're paid. For any pledges you might have done, that I would like to contribute for this fund or that fund, right? Just this kind of thing, free yourself of that. It is important that we keep our will ready, the last custom. If you have the will, fine. At least make sure that you update it. You might have done will, for example, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, when you bought a property or when you're going to Ziyarat. But now this is 2014, right? If possible, just look at the will. And if there's any kind of changes, updating to that. Otherwise, make sure that you prepare your will. It's very important. It's essential you prepare your will. It really helps, right? Free from people's rights, as we said, that if people have any kind of right over you, just try to free from it. Whether it is homes or their pledges or their loans or, you hurt their feelings, just try to just free yourself. Good religious literature and lecture. Try to listen to good lectures. Nowadays, mashallah, because of internet and YouTube and other sites, just try to go on the sites and try to listen to some of the good lectures. There are many of those lectures. We advise you to listen to them. Just this webinar alone would not be enough. We also ourselves, although we conduct webinars, but we also go online and listen to some of the lectures. They will help you. It will spiritually also uplifting, and also intellectually it will just remind you to increase your knowledge, inshallah. Take good literature. Inshallah, we will discuss about it at the end, some of the books we can recommend, but take with you some of the good literature. Nowadays, there are no restrictions if you travel. In olden days, you could not take Mufatul Junan with you. You could not take some of the things with you. So now you can take. You just make sure that, perhaps the only precaution I would do, if you are taking Mafati with you, if you have to take it, then the best thing is, of course, take all your books in your iPad or any kind of this other equipment. You can do that, right? Any tablets you can take. So that's easier. You can read and you can take this thing to the haram. It's allowed. Taking your tablets to the haram or iPad, you can do that. So if you can put everything there, that would really save you, because within that one iPad or one tablet, you've got all your books and all your du'as in Arabic, in Urdu, in Gujarati, in English, in transliteration, in Roman script. You can combine everything. These are available online. Just download and you can take them. But if you decide to take the print of Mafatul Jinan, my advice to you is just put a cover on it. Just a brown paper or anything. Just cover it. So it's not obviously showing Mafatul Jinan, because there may be some Jahil guard there, or Jahil Wahhabi or Takfiri there, and when he or she sees this Mafatul Jinan, they may, in fact, for example, take it away and start arguing with you. So this is only advice. Otherwise, just take your book, right? But take things that you need. Don't take what you don't need. Try to be light in your. Arrange support for those who depend on you. If you are the one who takes care, provides for your family members, your spouse, your children, it is necessary, Islamically essential, that you make due arrangements for them, that they would not face any kind of problems in your absence. Menfolk, this is very important. Those who are going for the Hajj for the first time, brothers, please keep this in mind. Take 2 pieces of haram, even if you are deciding to buy them in Jeddah, or if you are going to decide to buy them in, let's say, in Madina, right? I advise you, just borrow from your friends and wear the haram as is required, not keeping any kind of things. Now, this is important, especially. So make sure, because what happens that they are not used to wearing these 2 pieces of clothes daily life, right? Number 1. Number 2, we always wear the underclothes in our life. Here, suddenly, for example, there are men folk who are not supposed to wear anything other than these 2 pieces, right? And they find suddenly that they have problem adjusting themselves, they have problem walking, they have problem we find rashes taking place, in their thighs, and all those things happen, right? So it is important that they should practice this thing. This webinar is for all men and women, but especially section for women is start at 2 p.m. inshallah. So men folk, make sure that you, in fact, practice this wearing of ihram if you have never done that. Yes, it's not necessary that should be covered. You can cover both the shoulders or you can keep them open. As far as the Shia Madhab is concerned, yes, you can cover both the shoulders. But it's not required. No, if it's open, fine, but you can cover both the shoulders. Now, question regarding khums. People who are, for example, paying khums regularly, they should not worry. If you are paying your khums regularly, every year, at the end of the year, you have been doing it for the last several years, then as 2014 came in, you kept aside $8,000, $9,000, $7,000 for Hajj, there is no problem. Every expense of Hajj, every penny you are going to spend in Hajj is an allowable expense. It's part of expense, like any other expense. You don't have to worry. These masails are only for those who, for example, never paid khums, or were paying khums before but stopped paying khums for some reason, or just did not pay attention to that thing. For them, this masail comes. What is it? If you have never paid khums or have only paid it sometimes, then you have one of the two options. Number one, calculate your khums which is due for the years you missed. For example, let's say I was paying khums up to year 2000. Now this is 2014. From 2001, 2002, 2003, all the way up to 2013, right? Whatever khums is due, I try to calculate. And once I know, for example, what is due on me, 20% of that, what was it, I had paid in during these 13 years, I'll pay khums. This is the first option, and this is the best option. But now, for example, number two, then of course, if you cannot for any reason, you don't have time to go back to your books. Maybe your books are with your accountant. Maybe your books are lying with somebody else, right? Whatever it is, or perhaps you want to sit with your partner, you want to sit with your family and try to calculate. You don't have time for those things. What do? In that case, for example, let's say the total cost of Hajj package is $8,000. When we say $8,000, that means everything. The Hajj package plus the pocket money you may need, the shopping you may do there, all necessary things you need for the Hajj, right? Let's say as an example, just argument's sake, it is going to cost you $8,000. What you would do, you will take $8,000 and bump it to 10,000 times, just times 5, right? So 8,000, take 25%, which is 2,000, and make it to 10,000. Now the gross is 10,000. From 10,000, if you take 20%, that is 2,000. Okay. So again, whatever your gross Hajj expense would be, Hajj package, pocket money, you want to do some shopping there, you want to give somebody, you want to take out sadaqah, all those things, right? Take that money, whatever the amount is X, take 25% of that and bump it there, So 125% of that, right? 1.25 of that. So let's say the total expense is 8,000. 8,000 times 1.25 comes to 10,000. So now the gross expense is 10,000, of which 2,000 will be khums. Take out the 2,000 and then in fact you are okay. But mind if you are only okay for Hajj, it doesn't mean that whatever khums was due is forgotten. Because last year when I did not verify this, some people thought that no, now that's enough. No. What we are saying that only for the Hajj portion you are fine. But whatever khums is outstanding from the previous year would still stay outstanding. You still need to sit with your accountant, with your family, with your spouse, and calculate the khums and do that. This should be very clear, okay? The next slide. Can one take care of khums upon returning from Hajj? Somebody says, okay, I want to pay khums. I realize I'm supposed to pay khums. I did not do that all these years. I overlooked it. Maybe I was negligent. Maybe nobody drew my attention. Whatever the reason is, we don't really know, whatever the reason is. Can I just take care of it when I come back? The answer is no, you cannot do that. If you have never paid home, no, or paid it occasionally, then you cannot proceed to Hajj without paying home. You have to pay your home. It is important that you have to, in fact, pay the home. Okay? Question 2, is not home stable on 20% of the saving, then why do you bump up to 25%? This is just mathematical, right? Because the net, you want to find the gross. If the net expense is 8,000, the gross will be 10,000. So for example, let's say if you want to have $160, which is purified of homes, to do that, we have to make it to 160 times 1.25, which will come to 200. Then from 200, if you take 20%, that is $40, right? So you get $160, which is pure. This is why we bump it to 25%. Once it's 20%, but you are ending up paying again only 20%. Question comes, what if I do not have enough money, right? We fully understand that homes is obligatory and wajib, and we need to pay it before leaving for Hajj. Yes, we accept that, no problem. However, Hajj package in North America, for example, from Canada, from States, is about 8,000 per person, and approximately, right? Then for a couple, it would be, in fact, 16,000. If you are taking your son, then 24,000. If you are taking two of your children, then you are talking of, in fact, 32,000. Or if you are taking your spouse, and your parents are going, you are talking of 32,000. It's a huge amount, right? It's a big amount. If I, for example, take 20% again on the phone, that will be a big amount. So what can I do if I don't have that kind of cash? So listen to that. This is again very technical. If you do not have enough money to pay your Hajj as well as home, then technically Hajj is not wajib on you. Hajj is wajib when you can afford to start. Okay? But in any case, you want to go for Hajj, you're taking your leave. This is the only year you think you can go for Hajj. It works out well with your days. You're taking leave. Perhaps you got some kind of money just now. Maybe you will not have it in the future. So in that case, if you do not have enough money to pay the home, then you talk to a wakil, to the agent of your mushtahid, explain your situation, and take permission from him that I have this debt of home which is payable, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000. Can I pay it in installments? Can I pay it when I come back? If he allows you, fine. Otherwise, we would not go for it. Okay, so this is as far as the homes is concerned on her. Again, let me say, with those of us who are blessed and pay their homes regularly, they do not need to be worried at all about this aspect, because Hajj expense are allowable expense. Okay? We go to the next slide. What do we need during the trip? Number 1, we need 3 P's: prayer, passion, and perseverance. It's very important. Brothers and sisters, we need this thing. I know people who come to Hajj for so many years. Every year they come there. For the last many years they are coming. Even they lose their passion. We see sometimes them shouting, quarreling. We need a lot of passion. At every stage will be tested. At the airport, the flights are delayed. How, for example, people treat you, right? You find in your own room, your roommate, or sometimes both your package, your caravan package leader, whatever he or she might have promised, and could not do that. I remember I went to Hajj a few years ago, and maybe I didn't see the flyer, but people who were with me, they said that the flyer claimed that you will get to stay in a room of 2 people, right? So, and we were put 3 people in a room. And that particular thing created such a kind of commotion and argument and dispute that there was always a tension between the leader and those who had came. Because they always said, you had promised that we are going to put 2 people in a room, why 3 people? And that person explained numerous times that yes, that was the plan, but coming here, the Saudis have changed their rules, and they are very good of changing the rules overnight, all the time, right? Those who did go there, they would know that every year, at every time they come with so many rules. If you just sit with somebody who is arranging the Hajj, subhanallah, you would not believe how much they go through. They have to endure on account of changing rules which are there in Saudi Arabia. It's just mind-boggling. Honestly, I just go as a religious guide. If you tell me to go there as a person organizing, I would not have that kind of question because there are so many changing rules with Saudi, right? But they would just not listen. They just would argue that why this is so. So let's have a lot of patience. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you the strength to face all the kind of challenges and pray that may Allah accept all the amal and give us the best time there, right? And we persevere. We just continue doing what we are doing in spite of all the challenges. We don't give up, right? And this is the best ayat of Quran, ayat number 45. So the book Allah says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ إِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِئِينَ. No? In fact, the prayer, this is difficult. This is indeed difficult. No? Truly it is hard. إِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ. Allah says it is difficult, except for those who are humble. You see? So we need to be humble. We want to achieve this patience and perseverance. Sorry, we have been continuing. We have not changed any kind of arrangements. Can you hear me all? Maybe just the internet, but yes, alhamdulillah, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's all. Okay, please, let's have patience. Now, if we just have slight problem, let's not complain because then we would spend a lot of time just trying to fix this thing. Second thing is try to do a lot of zikr. Zikr and tasbih and istighfar. The best zikr and tasbih and istighfar are, for example, these 5, right? Thank you. Zikr, no. Subhanallahi, walhamdulillahi, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Number 3, astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Number 4, la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Number 5, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-ali al-azim. These are some of the best tasbih. You can do, of course, any, but these are just few which we suggest. You would not have time, but otherwise, if you just Google, or even if you go to our site, you'll find some of the slides. We have given hadith for every of these tasbih and their benefits. So again, which are those tasbih and zikr? Subhanallahi, walhamdulillahi, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Tasbihat 4. Number 2, salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Number 3, istighfar. Astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Number 4, the dua of Nabi Yunus. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Right? Number 4, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-azim. The hadith says, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-azim is a solution to 99 kind of difficulties. 99 kind of. So especially when you find challenge, you are doing tawaf, and you find there is a lot of rush, people are just pushing there, and you are maybe a very person who is not very strong. Even if you are strong, you don't want to push again because you are doing tawaf in the presence, of all those angels, right, and all those mu'mineen. You are in the most holy place. You don't want to push again. You want to be as humble as possible. But there is a lot of push. Just do this tasbih. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah azim. Inshallah, that strength and power, as we say, there is no strength power except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will give you that strength, inshallah. Good reading on board. I know we are traveling now. Don't think that your Hajj begins when you do talbiyah. No. Your Hajj began, brothers and sisters, the day when you did the niyat. The day you planned. 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 1 year ago, maybe 5 years ago, right? You started the niyat, that was the niyat, right? Especially when you travel. There are certain amals we do as we are living, so these are mustahabah. As we are traveling, people who travel from North America or even from Europe, right? We are flying for hours. You got on board. I am really surprised to see people going for Hajj still have time to watch movies in the plane or read those trash magazines. Why? This is the time. There is so many good literature out there. Read them. Take your iPad or your tablet, read those things. And just remind yourself. We are going to do, inshallah, go to Madina, we'll do the Ziyarat of Rasulullah. We are going to Ziyarat of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra. We are going to Ziyarat of Imam Hassan al-Islam, Ziyarat of Imam Zain al-Abidin, Ziyarat of Imam Al-Bakir al-Islam, Ziyarat of Imam Jafar Sadiq al-Islam, then Ziyarat of the Shuhada of Fahad, and all those number. Read about them. Read their contribution. So when you go to them, your reverence and respect increases for them, right? Just because you are in fact going there. Right? So it is important that we do these things. Read those things instead of reading this magazine. There is whole life to do other things. But this is the time, spend the time. Take good rest whenever you can. Maybe you are flying at night, you switch on the light, the passenger sitting next to you would not like. He or she also is taking a rest. So you also take a rest. Right? Either you just do tasbih or listen to an iPod or just rest. It's good. This rest is going to help you because you are going to have long nights in Madina and especially long nights in Makkah and during Arafat and Mina. So take rest as required. Train ourselves. Let's train ourselves to be humble, mutawadi, right? The Imams to keep this, although Imams were most humble people, but they used to keep this, to maintain this humbleness. You know what they used to do? They used to walk from Medina to Makkah. Brothers, inshallah, sisters and brothers, as you go, those who have not been there, you'll go to Medina and then we are going to go by bus from Makkah, from Medina to Makkah, and you will see it's a good 400 kilometers, right? They used to walk, imagine. The second Imam, Imam Hassan al-Islam, the third Imam, Imam Hassan al-Islam, walked more than 20 times. 20 times they walked from Medina to Makkah just out of humbleness. They were going to just be in the presence of the most holy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the holiest place. This was their status, right? In our own way, try to be as humble as possible. Reward of going to Medina. Alhamdulillah, nowadays there is awareness in all days. I remember when I did my first Hajj, brothers and sisters, I performed my first Hajj in 1983. I went to Medina only for a few hours. We took a cab from Makkah. My wife, my mother, we just flew all the way, just went to the Haram, recited the Ziyarat. The cab driver was sitting outside. We just again got on the bus and went away. Alhamdulillah, those days are gone. I can see that nowadays many groups in fact go to Medina and spend a number of time there. So let's go there and be prepared for this Ziyarat. So just to increase your longing of being in Medina and benefiting every moment, we are going to share with you 5 to 6 hadiths. There are many hadiths of course, but we are going to share with you only a few just to see that how fortunate we are, those of us who are planning to go for Hajj. The Prophet says, on the day of judgment, I will visit the one who has performed my ziyarat or the ziyarat of anyone from my progeny. Subhanallah. Just because you did the ziyarat of Rasulullah, just because you are going to ziyarat of Bibi Fatima, just because you are going to ziyarat of Imam Hassan al-Islam or other Imams of Baqi, right? Prophet is going to visit you. Now imagine when Prophet comes and visits us on the day of judgment, when we will be so alone, right? The hadith says people will be just so lonely. At that time, Allah, Prophet is going to visit us. It's a good moment, right? The second hadith, Prophet says, till I save him from the terrors of that day, it will be my duty to save him from the sin. Prophet is not only going to visit us, but he has promised that he is going to save us from the terrors of that day. No, that day when we are told that every human being is going to say nafsi, nafsi, how much he or she can just protect themselves, right? It will be my duty to save them from their sins. Not only that, he will do shafa'at. Subhanallah, see the benefit. So when you go to Ziyarat to Madina, go with this kind of intention, that we have come to visit you, and Ya Allah, we've been promised all this reward, we pray to you to provide us this benefit. Prophet says on the day of judgment, I will intercede for those who have come to my ziyarat. So Prophet will become shafi, he will intercede on our behalf just because we are visiting him. So let's go there and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all the kind of obstacles which may be there from now till we reach Madina, may Allah remove those things, inshallah, we reach there safely and soon, right? Prophet says, on the day of judgment, I will turn away from those who had come to Makkah for Hajj, but did not come to Medina for my ziyarah. Subhanallah. Do you see this thing? There are people who go to Makkah but don't go to Medina. They come all the way to Makkah, did not visit Rasulullah. So in fact, he is going to turn away from this. The fifth hadith again from the Prophet says, those who die in one of the two harams, that is Makkah or Medina, will be resurrected with the companions of Badr on the day of judgment. So we go there, God forbid, I was so sick, something happened, I died there. Don't be worried about that, right? It's like someone who was a companion of Prophet on the day of Badr, will be resurrected with them, will be in the companionship of people who died in the battle of Badr, right? The fifth Imam al-Baqir Islam says, Ziyarat of Rasulullah is like performing purified Hajj with Rasulullah. SubhanAllah. When you do Ziyarat of the Prophet, it's like performing the Hajj with Prophet, but that kind of Hajj which is a purified Hajj. That Hajj which is accepted. You see the benefit of going to Medina, and I'm so pleased to see that nowadays we do that. So please go with that kind of eagerness. Paradise for Medina, right? Those who go to Medina, paradise has a promise. Imam Jafar Sadiq al-Islam, whose wafat we just remembered, right? Some of us, those are in Europe, we did yesterday, those who are North America and Africa, or perhaps Pakistan, had the Ziyarat, wafat on Friday. Whichever the day, right? Imam says, one day, while Imam Islam was sitting on the lap of his grandfather, the Prophet, he looked upon and asked, Father, what is the reward for one who performs that after you have passed away? Now, although he was the grandson, but he used to call him as the father, right? Because Prophet also used to call him as the son. Allah's Messenger replied to Imam Hussein, my son, one who performs my ziyarat after my passing away, right, will be rewarded. He says that for my son, right, one who performs my ziyarat after my passing away will be rewarded with paradise. One who performs the ziyarat of your father, that is Imam Ali, after his passing away, will be rewarded the paradise. One who performs the ziyarat of your brother, that is Imam Hassan, after his passing away, will be rewarded with paradise. And one who performs your ziyarat after your passing away will be rewarded with Jannah. So when we go to Medina, we'll do ziyarat of the Prophet and Imam Hassan, right? And those who have been to Karbala, Iraq, you've done ziyarat of Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, and also Imam Ali now, right? Paradise has been promised. There are two hadiths from the ninth Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Jawad, al-Taqiyya al-Islam, emphasizing that when you go for ziyarat, it should be for the sole intention of ziyarat of the Prophet. So inshallah, everything else will come, but the intention is that I'm visiting the Prophet. I want to go and visit him. In another hadith, Imam says, Allah will take them to paradise, inshallah, those who go for ziyarat. What to recite in Medina? Again, you'll be given the books by your group leaders. I'm sure you already have a number of books you collected. But just to share with you a few things here, right? Allah's Messenger, one who comes to ziyarat of my grave after my passing away, is like one who has migrated to me during my lifetime. If you cannot come for my ziyarat, convey your salutations to me, it sure reaches me. This is important. If you are, for example, attending this webinar because you are going to Hajj, but maybe your spouse is not coming, maybe your parents are not coming, maybe your children are not coming, encourage them to send salams to the Prophet through you, right? Because Prophet has clearly said that just send your salutation. Right? Verily, Rasulullah hears your voice from nearby and also from far. So when we say Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, no, Assalamu alayka ayyuhan Nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayka Muhammad ibn Abdullah. When we say from here, Prophet Subhanallah, can you hear? Yes, thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So just take the salams of our family truly. Now what do we recite? One who comes to my ziyarat of my grave after my passing away is like one who has migrated to me during my lifetime. Okay. So it is the last line of this ziyarat is quite interesting. This is the ziyarat which we are going to read. The last line says, Ya Muhammadu, inni atawajjahu ila Allahi rabbi wa rabbuka bika liyaghfirali dhunubi. I'm just drawing attention to this last line because the Wahhabis and some of the Muslims in fact accuse us that we are worshipping Rasulullah, that we are not just going there to perhaps bow ourselves. No, you can see what the Ziyarat says. This is the last line. Ya Muhammad, O Muhammad, inni atawajjahu ilayka. Inni atawajjahu ilallah. In fact, I have turned to Allah. Rabbi wa Rabbuk. My Lord and your Lord. Bika, through you, for your sake. Liyaghfirali dhunubi. Who should forgive my sins? Allah, not Muhammad. You see, not Rasulullah. So it is important that even when we are doing ziyarat, our attention is Allah. You can see clearly we are just going there because Prophet is the most holiest person, is the closest person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who was most perfect human being to walk on this earth. That is why we are there. But our attention is still to Allah. Although we say labbaik, Allahumma labbaik before wearing ihram, but even whilst we are in Madina, you can see he said, Ya Muhammadu inni atawajju ilallah. My tawajjuh, my attention, my focus is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's important. They accuse us that no, we are worshipping Muhammad or We are just trying to ask from Rasulullah. No, we ask Allah. You can see. Rabbuka wa Rabbi. Your Lord and my Lord. It means you are also the servant of Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. So before I believe you as a messenger, you are the servant of Allah. So it is important that we keep this in mind as we are doing Ziyarat. Dua at the grave of Rasulullah. See the dua again, although we are at the grave of Rasulullah, see how we humble for the sake of Allah. We are humbling at the grave of Rasulullah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, the fourth Imam, Ali Zain al-Abidin, saying in the dua, Allahumma inni asbahtu la amliku nafsi khayra ma arju laha wa la adfa'u anha sharra ma hadaru alayha. Right? Oh Allah, I find that I do not have the power in myself to attain the good I hope for, nor do I have the power to just defend myself from any kind of harm, right? Wasmatul umuru biyadika. I find that all my affairs are in your hands, right? Wala fakira afkaru minni, right? No, all affairs are in your hands, and that there is none more needy than mine. Wala fakira afkaru. There is no poor person. There is no beggar. There is no person need than myself. No, more beggar than myself. Do you see how much we humble? Now this is at the grave of Rasulullah. It is very important. This slide will be posted inshallah on our side. By tomorrow you'll have the slide on our side. So do you see this thing? How can they accuse us that we are doing shirk? Far from that. Yes, we are at the grave of Rasulullah, but our attention is Allah. We are humbling for the sake of Allah. We are saying to Allah that we are the most needy. There is no fakir, right? Then inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin fakir. Then Imam quotes ayat number 24 from Surah Al-Qasas. And if you go back and just try to read, this is the ayat, no, this is a phrase which was said by Nabi Musa when he was in need, right? So, and it says that I am in need of the good that you have given me. Nabi Musa was helpless. He had run away from his city because they wanted to kill him. He goes to Madina. At that time, he's so helpless. He says, Oh Allah, I'm in need of any good you give me. So we are in the presence of Rasulullah. We are saying to Allah, I need from you. But I'm just at the grave of Rasulullah because he is the most beloved to you, the most holiest person, right? And I expect that because I'm there, my dua will be accepted. But my asking, my begging, my humbling is all for the sake of Allah, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you see this thing? It's so important. Keep that in mind. We continue, right? Then Imam says, Allahumma aridni minka bi khairin fala radda li fadlika. Allahumma inni a'udhulika min an tabaddala ismi aw an tughayyira jismi aw tunzila ni'matika anni. Just read the translation. I'll just pause for a moment, right? Just reflect what Imam is saying. And then Imam says, Subhanallah, read the last line, no? So beautiful, right? Allahumma zayyinni bit taqwa wa jammilni bin ni'ama wa amurni bil afiyati wa rizukni shukr al afiyah. Subhanallah, one line has just so comprehensive, it talks everything what it says, Oh Allah, adorn me with the piety, right? With taqwa. Remember I said earlier, let us dress the dress of taqwa. So adorn me with taqwa. Then Imam says, وَجَمِّلْنِ بِالنِّعْمَةِ, and beautify me with your blessing, right? وَأَمُرْنِي بِالْعَافِيَةِ, and give me a long, healthy life, right? This is important. وَأَمُرْنِي, just give me a life which is healthy. Of what good is the life when there is no health? I visit the sick people once a week here in the local hospital, and every time I go and see their condition, I pray to Allah that Allah protect all our people from this, right? They're so healthy, right? So, وَأَمُنِّ بِالْعَافِيَةِ وَارْزُقْنِي شُكْرَ الْعَافِيَةِ. And after, when you give me good health, I want you to keep this health. And Allah has promised, وَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are thankful to me, if you are grateful to me, I'll give you more. So Allah, if you give me good health, also bless me that I should thank you for that good health. Do you see this thing? Beautiful dua. But again, we are at the grave of Rasulullah. What are we asking? Are we not asking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Only if the Wahhabis read these things and understand. They are just calling us with all the kind of names, right? At other holy places, in Medina, in other places you go, for example, Makkah, you'll go to Cuba, you'll go to Ohad, you go to so many places, inshallah. Ensure that all your wajibat are performed. Brothers and sisters, just because you are going to Hajj, it is important. Yes, of course, you can recite this dua. If you memorize and do it in sajda, why not? Of course, you can do that. At the holy places, make sure that all the wajibat are done. Sometimes people are so much preoccupied about their Hajj wajibat that they think that in the process I can make my namaz qaza, I can be negligent about taharat. No. The wajibat, right from the day I'm leaving my home, also while traveling, right? Make sure that you do not make your namaz qaza. Learn. We have discussed in the past, if you go to our slide, if you go to our site, just go look at the webinar on Ziyarat. We have discussed how to say prayers on board. Now all those things we have discussed there. We don't have time just now, so you can just go there. And if you go to our site on the courses, just look at the Ziyarat webinar, right? We have discussed how to say the prayers on board. So make sure you don't make namaz qaza. A lot of zikr, recite a lot of Quran. It is recommended that if you can complete the reciting of Quran whilst in Makkah, but I know that it's not possible. It's not easy. So what do? I suggest few things. These are the things. For example, from the time you leave, just at the airport as you are waiting, there are so many hours until you come back. You'll have a lot of waiting time at the airport and other places, right? And you are going to be in the haram waiting until azan is given, right? Just read the Quran right from the day one, right from the start. Start your reading Quran whilst you're at the airport, for example, Toronto, London, wherever you are flying from, Karachi, Pakistan, Tehran, right? Start reciting and see if you can complete. If that is not possible, what you can do, just make a group, right? Say two of you. That between two of us, we are going to complete the Quran. So I'm going to recite 15 first paras, you recite this last 15, right? If you think you can't do that, three of you say, okay, let's try to share 10 para. That way, let's as a group, but let's try to complete reciting on Quran. It is highly recommended, right? Reflection and pondering over the holy sites. You go to those places, read about them in advance. Once you reach there, try to reflect and ponder over those things. Historical sites, and the importance. Try to read the history of those things. Can we listen to the Quran? Yes, you can listen to the Quran, but there's reward of listening to the Quran, but there is far more reward of reciting Quran. So of course, if you cannot recite, listening of course is the second option. So historical sites, there are so many historical sites and they're important. Make sure that you in fact read about them, so when you go there, you appreciate them. You don't miss out. In fact, you visit all those places. Not that you come back and say, oh, I wish I had gone there. I wish I had known about that. No. Know about them, so you visit all those places. This is also important. Meet Muslims from different backgrounds. Nowadays, we have got convenience that we are going with groups, right? The kafila, the group takes care of everything. We just give, for example, $7,000, $8,000. They take care of everything. So that's a good part of it. You don't have to negotiate at every stage. But the downside to that is that we just stay within our own people. No. This is the time meet with Muslims. For example, maybe there are Muslims from Ukraine, right? What's going there? There are Muslims from Gaza. There will be Muslims from Palestine. There will be Muslims from Iraq, what they are suffering. There will be Muslims from Mosul. Try to see what's there. No. Muslims from Bahrain are suffering, from Afghanistan, from Pakistan, right? This is the place, meet them. Muslims from Nigeria, there is a Bala of Boko Haram, right? Just try to meet them, see what they are going through. This is the time, meet them. Also take the necessary rest. As we said, resting is important because you will not have enough rest whilst you are in Mina and Arafat and Muzdalifah. Those are the places you'll be just doing what ibadah, right? It's better that you take rest. Taking of gift is mustahab. Taking gift back home is mustahab. But at the same time, don't spend a lot of time bargaining and shopping. So just keep one afternoon of the day, one day, for example, fine day, once in Medina and then once in Mecca, for example, few hours just say that you will do shopping. Don't spend a lot of time and be mesmerized with all the things available there, right? We have gone there for ibadah. These are just a few slides with pictures. Have a look at them. This was the house of Fatima in Medina. They have destroyed. They have just totally demolished it. You can see this. This is the Fadak, the Garden of Fadak. This picture was taken in 1972, right, near Khaybar. But you can see, of course, nowadays they've closed this thing altogether. They don't allow us to visit this place. All those places where the Imams of Ahlul Bayt and the Shias go and visit or used to live, they've enclosed it totally. I remember in my first Hajj, in my second Hajj, we visited 25 to 30 places in Madina for outside Ziyarat. So this time when you go there, you will visit only 5 places for outside Ziyarat. So all those another 25 and 20 places have been closed totally. This is the modern day Madina Madina Munawwara. The Masjid of the Prophet, beautiful. This is how it looks today. I don't need to mention those 5, inshallah. When you go there, you will visit those, inshallah, right? Spiritual benefits. What are the spiritual benefits of Hajj? Use the du'as of wudu to train yourself. Let's start by, when you do wudu, there are beautiful du'as to be recited, right? Recite those du'as and memorize those things. That would really help you remember the hereafter. And when you remember hereafter at every stage, then you find that you will benefit spiritually more. You are spiritually more prepared. Start with the du'as of wudu. Recite those du'as at the time of when you gargle your mouth, when you just rinse your nose, when you wash your face, when you wash your right hand, left hand. There are beautiful du'as taught by Imam Ali Islam, which are found in many books. Some of the places, some of the Imam Bargas and Masajid also have those posters with these du'as. If anybody needs these du'as, again you can go to our site, you'll find them, but otherwise you can email us, inshallah. We will send you a poster. You can just laminate it and keep near your sink. You can read this dua. There is a dialogue between Imam Sajjad al-Islam and Shibli, one of his companions. Again, you can get on alislam.org. There is a site, a beautiful site, in many sites, but for example, there is a site alislam.org, and if you just try to just write al-Islam, sorry. Just type Shibli and you will get this Islam, this dialogue. Read that. It's a beautiful dialogue which will prepare you spiritually. If Hajj trip requires so much preparation, imagine the preparation of Akhirah. This is something to just ponder. You and me who are going for Hajj, inshallah, let's pray that all of us go there. You know how much preparation required, right? This is just few days we are gone. 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 20 days, right? It requires so much preparation. Imagine the hereafter, when we are going to be there for longer time. Quran says, وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. The hereafter is better and enduring, right? How much preparation it will require to the hereafter. Just think about that, right? So, for example, just compare, Mashar like a desert. When you go to, the Yawm al-Mashar, that means we are going to, all of us, we are going to just get together, and we gather is known as Mashar, right? It's like a huge desert, right? Yeah, all of us gather. When you wear your ihram, just assume that you are wearing a coffin. This kind of comparison and similitude would help us prepare ourselves spiritually. That when I'm wearing my ihram, just for a moment that this is the last time that okay, I'm wearing my ihram, as if I'm wearing my coffin, what would happen, right? So it is just try to compare those things because if you see when we wear ihram, we are like a people who are dead people. So many things are haram, except that we are living people who have been deprived for so many things in life, right? So it's almost like a living dead person, right? You are at the holy place where the prophets, the past prophets, the imam, and millions of Muslims have been. When you and me, inshallah, when we reach in Madina, when we reach Makkah, when we are near Khana Kaaba, just imagine that particular place. Millions and millions of Muslims have been there before us, and then the Prophet has been there, the past prophets have been there, right? The Imams have been there. It's such a holy place we are there. Just try to ponder all those things. This would help us to just compose ourselves, and be prepared spiritually. Of course, this talbiyah, I'm sure all of you have memorized it. I'll give you the good news. It's important that you must read talbiyah correctly. It's important. Otherwise, that can render your Hajj batil, right? So, labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik. That first line is wajib. That's only. Now see the good news. In the first line, there is not a single letter which requires special makhraj. Not a single letter. Right? Inna alhamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulka la sharika laka labbaik. So inna alhamda has a ha, which is a special pronunciation. Wal ni'mata, there is a ain, which is special pronunciation. This is also mustab, but the wajib is just labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik. How do you know that you've done the wajib? Once you say the word labbaik 4 times, you would realize that you've done the wajib line, right? Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik. Here I am, O God, in your presence. Here I am saying you have no partner whilst being in your presence, right? So labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. We go there after presenting ourselves that, oh Allah, here I am. I am just renewing my pledge that there is no God except you. Do you see how fundamental Tawheed is? It is the quintessence of our belief, right? And that's what we do. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka. The praise belongs to you, and all the favors and all the ni'mat, all the blessings, everything belongs to you. Wal mulka, not only that, entire sovereignty belongs to you. You are the real master. I am the slave, not only every creature is your slave. You are. Everything belongs to you. Inna alhamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulka la sharika laka. And when I say everything belongs to you, it means you are the absolute master. There is no one who is your partner. Do you see this thing? So say this thing and try to ponder over it. Inshallah, it will bring the change. Future experience. Right? We are in the dire need of food for human soul because we live in a lot of materialism. Brothers and sisters, especially those who live in the West, there is so much materialism here, right? So much food, so much things out there. But we need spirituality. Our soul also needs food, right? And Hajj is the best time. مَا تَفْعَلُ مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمُ اللَّهُ. Right? Remember earlier we said in the ayat, Allah says, this also points to the spirituality. مَا تَفْعَلُ مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمُ اللَّهُ. Whatever good you do. So we are in need of spiritualism. Right? And Hajj is the best time to develop that thing. Hajj is, how? One is we cut off from all routine, family and friends. So let me say one thing. It's good that once you reach there, tell your family, text them that you have reached safely. Or just send a message. There are people, subhanallah, because there is internet, there is Viber, there is Skype, or calling, internationally is inexpensive. So people call every day at home, every day, not only every day, a number of times. Why do we do that? Why do we need that? Right? This is a time of ibadah. You've been cut off from this thing, right? If I call home, then I will have all the kind of gossiping and every small thing that's happening home, and there will be something which I would worry about. Why do this? So Allah will take care of them. Just leave on Allah, your family, your spouse, your children, right? Just let them know you're reached safely. Maybe on the day of Eid, inshallah, I'll call you again. Or perhaps maybe after a few days if you want. But don't spend a lot of time. You're cut off from your family, from your routine, from your business, from your job, from your friends. Just do that, right? Concentrate in worshipping Allah subhanahu. Restrictions in Ihram also help us. There are so many restrictions in Ihram, right? So which help us to concentrate more towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be so simple and be away from materialism, right? Connection with the origins of Islam. We are in the place which was the origin of Islam. Prophet started preaching from there. Imams were there, right? So we are the connection, we are not the origin of Islam. There is another world besides one. Once you go there, inshallah, you will notice and you will observe that you are completely in a different kind of world. And that's the beauty of it. Just cut off from everything. Yeah, we are in a different world, a world on its own, that of Hajj. Just enjoy that, right? And then you receive the sense of qurb, the nearness of Allah. Allah is not a body, physical body. But that house which is associated with Allah, Baytullah, that place which is the holiest place on this earth, we are there, right? So enjoy that and have that kind of sense. This helps to create the spiritual world experience. The educational and economical benefits, right? Learn from those in your company. You'll find there are people who are more learned, more experienced, been to Hajj, have been to Ziyarat, maybe they visit so many places. Learn from the experience. It's the best time to do that, right? So it's educational experience. Learn from them. It can be religious experience, can be worldly experience. As long as the learning is not something haram, do that. Maybe you are a doctor, but somebody is a better doctor than you. You are a dentist, but somebody is more experienced dentist. You are a computer analyst, right? System analyst. Somebody may be better. Learn from others, right? Experience. Get answers to your burning questions. You go there, there are so many scholars there. One scholar, second scholar, somebody might have some questions. You talk to your local Molana, to your local teacher, Madrasa. They did not give you a satisfying answer. Talk to them, to the scholars, you will see them, right? Maybe they will give you answers. Try to read about Islam and its history and ponder over that. Build your network with Muslims who have the same interest as yours. You are, for example, a specialist in child education, you are specialist as a teacher. Try to find others who have got the same interest and build your network, right? Prepare your reports and post. Again, brothers and sisters, I've not seen this thing happening. I don't know why. There's a beautiful book. I always tell people, when you get a chance to read this book. The name of the book is 1000 Road to Mecca. This 1000 Roads to Mecca, just try to read this. It is a beautiful book whereby it's telling us how Hajj has evolved in the last 1000 years. And the person who wrote this book, what did he do? He read the travel journals of the past people and learned from the experience. So in this day and age, people have their blog, people have their personal site. We have the site on Hajj, right? Resources. Write your experience. Share with others. Maybe it's going to inspire others. Do that. Prepare your reports and post it online on your blog, right? Look into the possibility of helping caravans such that you can return to Hajj. When you go to Hajj, if you like very much, try to say, do you need a volunteer? Do you want me to come and help you next year? So if you can come next year, at least, nowadays there are restrictions regarding visas in some of the countries. You can only go once every 5 years. So maybe after 5 years, you say, okay, I'll come as a volunteer. Look into that, you'll find that it's really a special experience. Right? Social benefit. Part of a huge ummah in all United Nations. You'll find that we are part of that huge ummah. In the Hajj, I've been going to Hajj many years, but last year I missed for some reasons. Please pray that I can go again. But I don't know what was the population last year, but before that, the year before, when I was there were 2.6 million people who were present in Hajj, right? So you are part of that huge ummah there, ummah itself, right? And that is a smaller ummah. And then there is a bigger ummah outside there. So it's a very special, experience, and socially try to, experience that you are part of that bigger ummah. Meet Muslims from all over the world. We said earlier, right? Attending various conferences and get-togethers arranged by different groups. You'll find there are conferences, get-togethers, lectures, programs in different groups. Your group might have a speaker, very good speaker, but other groups also might have speakers. No? Try to attend there. Just do that and benefit. Just try to get maximum of it. But make sure that in the process, don't miss out on your wajibat, right? Meeting of various ulama. There are so many scholars there, right? Meet them, talk to them. The mujtahid, different mujtahids have their offices there. Go and visit them. They will give you the books, for example, or you can ask your questions, or just visit them, right? Meet the representative of Maraji. Every mujtahid has a representative there. He would not come there, but he has an office and representative. Meet them if they speak Arabic or English, Urdu, or your language. Communicate with them, talk to them, and just introduce yourself. It's a special experience which you can do that. And then it's also opportunity to serve unknown people. There may be some Muslims who are so poor, who can't afford. You'll find them that their meal is so simple. They cannot even afford to stay in a accommodation. They are just living under a bridge, for example. They'll camp there. Maybe you can serve them. When you go and buy drinks for yourself, when you go and buy juice for yourself, when you go and buy, for example, fresh bread for yourself, why don't you just buy extra and say, I would like to share this with you? Make sure, don't tell them it's a sadaqah. They would feel offended, right? No, I would just like to share with you. Or can I just can we share this together? Bring, for example, 5 bottles of juice. It's okay. Can we drink together? So try to serve. Or for example, there are people, it's so hot, right? Sun. And you have an umbrella, or you can buy umbrella and give it to them and say, okay, you can use this thing. Of course, you cannot use umbrella when you are wearing ihram as a cover, but otherwise, besides, if you are not wearing ihram, right, then of course you can use umbrella to protect yourself. Any kind of service you can give the unknown. So these are all the spiritual aspects, social and educational. Now we come to Umrah Tamattu. Hajj has 2 main parts. Umrah Tamattu and Hajj Tamattu. We will not touch Hajj Tamattu. Umrah Tamattu is like almost, for example, wuzu itself is not wajib. Wuzu becomes wajib when you have to do wuzu, when you have to say prayer, right? So in the same way, you cannot do Hajj Tamattu without doing Umrah Tamattu. So Umrah Tamattu is a precondition, prerequisite of Hajj Tamattu. Umrah Tamattu, there are 5 wajibat. These are, for wearing of ihram, right? And then of course, tawaf, then the namaz of tawaf, then sa'i, and the 5th one is taksir for Umrah Tamattu. So for ihram, we have the first thing is niyat. You'll inshallah go to miqat. Those of you who are going to Madina first, and I believe all of us perhaps are doing that. If you are going to Madina first, then you are going to stop in a place known as Masjid al-Shajara or Bir Ali. Both are names, Bir Ali. Bir Ali, that means the well of Imam Ali al-Islam, right? Or Masjid Shajara. You'll be there. This is a miqat. This is about 5 miles from Madina. You go there. Of course, you are going to wear your ihram in the hotel. That's recommended, but you won't do the niyat. You just change your clothes. Just changing. So you are wearing, but not with the niyat. This is not required, but just convenience, because at the miqat there are facilities to wear ihram. There are also many washrooms. But maybe there is no time sometimes, or the washrooms are not that clean because thousands of people are using it, so there'll be water and maybe not hygienically best, right? So what we do is that you wear your ihram, right? And then when you come to the miqat, when you come to shajara, at that time you will just do the niyat that I'm wearing my ihram. Somebody will be there to guide you, depending what your kind of is your first hajj. They will say hijjat Islam, right? If it's not first hajj, then the niyat. If you're doing niyat, but different kind of niyat will be there. I'm wearing my ihram for Umrah Tamattu, no, for Hajj Islam, Wajib Putulillah, for example. And then after doing the niyat, you just adjust your clothing as if you are wearing now. And then you say talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. That is wajib, right? But you can also say inna alhamda wa ni'mata lak wal mulk la sharika laka labbaik. And then of course this is you completely wearing ihram. This is required. Wudu or ghusl is not a condition for wearing ihram, but it is mustahab. Again, you may not be in wudu. You may not be, for example, in wudu and you want to wear ihram, that's fine. It is mustahab to stay in the state of wudu when you are wearing ihram. Again, on our site, if you go and look at the slides of on Ziyarat webinar, we have showed how to perform wudu with just spray bottle. Or even if you just go to YouTube and just say performing wudu with spray bottle, or wudu, or doing wudu made easy, something like that. If you just Google, you'll get our video clip whereby we have shown how to perform wudu using a spray bottle. So you can keep with you in your bus if you want to renew wudu again, right? For male, 2 white pieces of cloth is necessary. Remaining tie is mustard. But make sure, although wudu is not necessary, the ihram must remain part. It cannot become najis. No. If it becomes najis, you have to clean it or change it. If you don't have another ihram, it's better that you take extra piece with you in the bus, right? But let's say if you do not have it and became najis, you have to clean it, or if you cannot clean it, you'll cut that part which will become najis, right? It's important that the ihram remains tahir. And do not tie the loin cloth. The loin cloth, that means the bottom cloth, cannot be tied. It just has to be put in such a way without tying it. Or you cannot. And then of course, blanket allowed if even if sewn, provided do not cover the head. Right? If, for example, it's very cold, then you can wear a blanket over the ihram. It's okay, but make sure that you don't cover your head with that. Try to know all those 25 things which are forbidden. We are going to look at them very quickly. You have to learn those things, right? But most important thing is, you are not allowed to look at the mirror. We are not allowed to lie. We are not allowed to swear. We are not allowed to quarrel. Men are supposed to avoid the shade when they are traveling. We are not allowed to remove the hairs. We are not allowed to remove the tooth, nails, and blood from the body. So although there are 25 things, but these things are things which apply to us more. Other things may not be very much relevant. For example, things which are not allowed is sexual relations, right? Sexual conduct. We won't do this thing. Anybody in his right sense won't do that thing. But these are some of the things which are very common, which may overlook. For example, looking in the mirror by mistake we can do. Or sometimes in talking we may, for example, God forbid, may lie, or we may swear, or may lose, for example, friends will start quarreling. These are the things we have mentioned here. Sheikh Murtaza Al-Jinnah, with whom I have performed a number of Hajj in his group, has shared this slide with me. He said the ABCD of Muharramat, things which are haram in ihram. So what he has done, he has said affection, those things which can be connected with affection, those things which can be connected with beauty, those things which are relation with clothing, those which defend, and those ethics. So he has divided into these 5 groups. Affection, for example, looking at na-mahram, touching na-mahram, right? kissing even your own wife, you know, or even touching, kissing, or having sex, masturbation, billah, performing nikah or parties of nikah, all those things are not allowed in ihram. So this has to be with affection. Beauty, surma, which you apply on the eyes, you cannot do that. Or looking at the mirror, right? Applying of the oil or perfume, cutting of the nail, cutting of the hair, self beautification, all those things are not allowed. So this has to be beauty, right? Clothing. Men folk cannot have cover the shed when they are traveling, right? Or for example, women cannot cover their face, right? Head cover, face cover, right? Gloves, you cannot have. Two pieces you are supposed to wear. Footwear. Now what is the footwear? The men folk. This is for the men folk. The sisters can wear the socks, right? There is nothing on it because there are, make sure that although it is hot, you must wear your socks. It's required. Of course, sisters, there are special massage at 2 p.m. So we discuss. I'm not going to discuss. But the men folk, keep this in mind. Wear those kind of sandals such that the front part of the foot is open. So, for example, you are wearing such kind of sandals or champals or anything whereby all your fingers can be seen. That's fine, right? You cannot wear the socks, but you cannot wear also kind of shoes which would cover the front part. As far as the front part is open, remains open, that's fine. So that is what is required for men folk. For sisters, of course, they are different massage, inshallah, at 2 p.m. So these are some of the muharramat. Very briefly we are discussing. Umrah tamattu. Now comes tawaf. Yeah, this is the only place. Tawaf and its namaz are the only place from 5 things in Umrah which wuzu is required, is necessary. Remember we said there are 5 wajibat in Umrah. 1 is ihram, number 2 is tawaf, number 3 is namaz of tawaf, number 4 is sa'i, and number 5 is taksir. In number 2, tawaf, in number 3, namaz of tawaf, wuzu is a requirement. So wuzu must remain. You must remain in wuzu. If it breaks, you are supposed to renew wuzu. Again, there are masais when it breaks and when you are supposed to repeat. You will not get in that. You have to look into the books or you have to ask the local alim there, right? But wuzu is a requirement. Be careful to know the number of rounds. Try to do anything to remember the number of rounds. No, what I do is that, for example, I wear 2 rings. One is of a peak, one is of Dur Najaf. So when 2 rings are there, that is my first. Then I take 1 ring and put on the other for example, finger of the other hand, left hand. Then that's my second. Whatever you want to do it. There are tasbih which has 7, for example, beats. You can use that thing for any counter. But it is important that you must remember. Again, if you forget, then the massages are complicated. You should know those massages. Tread in between the rush and distance. Yes. What is it? What I mean is that, for example, if you do tawaf near Khana Kaaba, inside Maqam Ibrahim, then what happens? The distance is shorter, but there is a lot of rush. On the other hand, you are allowed to do tawaf outside Maqam Ibrahim. Okay? But then what happens is that when you do outside Maqam Ibrahim, then what happens is that the distance will be more bigger, that it will take longer. Yes, you can use the counter by all means. By all means you can use the counter. So, because when you are doing tawaf, what is required is doing of tawaf. The recitation during tawaf is mustahab. It's not wajib. So if you are using the counter or holding the counter, it's okay, right? But make sure that the counter should not occupy your whole hand, that they cannot, for example, take care of yourself when somebody is rushing, when somebody is pushing you. So you will need to compose yourself a lot, right? But you can use the counter by all means. So change between the rush. If you do tawaf near Khana Kaaba, the distance is less, but there is a lot of rush. If you do tawaf which is farther from Khana Kaaba, the circles are farther from Khana Kaaba, the distance is longer, but there is less rush, right? Keep that in mind. Begin a little before Hajar Aswad and a little after, and a little after, to make sure that you've done your tawaf well. Like the way when we wash our face, we do wash slightly more than is required to make sure that the whole face is covered. In the same way, just before Hajar Aswad, start and end after Hajar Aswad. Okay, this is when you for the first round and the last round. Of course, every other round there are 7 rounds. The first round begins slightly earlier and end the last round slightly more. Do not be carried away by the crowd. The crowd, there is lot of crowd. Don't be carried away and don't comment. Oh, these people are rough. Nigerians are like that. Iranians are like that. Saudi, for example, don't try to generalize all the people. You just are there doing your tawaf. There are 70,000 angels doing tawaf with you of exactly above this Hajar Aswad. There is Baitul Mahmur, right? And they are doing tawaf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So just don't be carried away with this kind of thing. Just try to be composed, remain composed, and try to do this. Be as calm and as composed as possible. It will soon end. And everything which has begun will end. Just because there's a lot of rush, lot of pushing around, should not disturb us. Let's train ourselves, right? What I suggest to people, one of the best things which has really helped me over all these years, brothers and sisters, once you come near a Khana Kaaba, just do a dummy round. Don't do tawaf. Just don't do the niyat. Just enter from anywhere, any place. Just do a dummy round, 1, even 2 rounds. Once you know you're used to that area and the rush, everything, right? And then now once you reach Hajar Aswad, then do the niyat. That's the best way. This has really helped me. Even if you've been to Hajj number of times, I do this thing every year. I enter from any place and I just do there once, sometimes even twice, and I'm really acclimatize myself with that area, and then I do the niyat. If assisting someone, complete your first. Yeah, it is important, sisters and brothers. I know sometimes people, you go with your mother, you go with your spouse, right? And you want to be together. Your spouse says, don't leave me alone, I would like to be with you. It's nothing wrong in it. But it's difficult, brothers and sisters, honestly. My advice to you is, to those brothers who are taking their mothers or their spouses or their sisters, my advice to you is, complete your tawaf, right? In your namaz, right? And then now, after that, take your wife, or take your mother, or take your sister with you. That will be. If Friday there is no time for anything, or then it's a different thing. You can take it. But otherwise, it's really difficult to do tawaf whereby taking care of yourself and also taking care of somebody else. It's just advice. Don't take me this is the requirement. It's advice only, based on our on our experience. Umrah Tamattu, right? After tawaf, you do 2 rakat or salat. It's like 2 rakat is like morning prayer, right? This salat. And wuzu is required. It should be done immediately after tawaf. Now, maximum, for example, perhaps if you want to drink water, you can drink, otherwise, immediately after tawaf, find a place which is near to Maqam Ibrahim or behind it, so that you can see it. Now, you don't have to be near Maqam Ibrahim alone, because there's a lot of rush people are doing tawaf there. So go a little behind, but as close as you can do that, right? As you can become, and try to say your prayers there, right? Ensure that you are out of tawaf area. This is important. That means if you do in the tawaf area say your prayers, then you'll be just pushed around. You won't be able to complete your namaz well. And then you doubt, is my namaz okay? If your namaz is not okay, your tawaf is not okay. If your tawaf is not okay, your umrah is not okay. If your umrah is not okay, your hajj is not okay. Okay? So just see in the outside and tawaf area. Do namaz there, and plus be with your group so they can stand there while you're doing your salah. No, after completing each tawaf, there is nothing. There are mustab du'as at the time of tawaf. But as you are completing the tawaf, make sure that your counting is correct. That's all. This is the only thing. Yes, there are certain du'as which you can recite, but it's not wajib. There are mustab du'as you can look in. There is no pause. Don't pause. Not at all. Just Just in your mind, you know that you're finished first round. That's enough, right? Okay, we don't have much time, so we have to very quickly because there is a mayat here. Those who are in Vancouver, Toronto, as you know, there is a mayat. You have to rest there. Okay, make sure that ensure you are out of class area. Be ready to have a partner to stand next to you when you are performing your prayer. Okay, just one thing about tawaf here before I go to next slide. They're having platforms. They have built platforms. From last year, they are raised platforms. So the Masail according to Ayatollah Sistani, I only know just now. I'm sorry, I don't know I don't know the fatwa of other mujtahids. Ayatollah Sistani says that there are two platforms. One is slightly lower, one is the higher low platform. The one which is lower is not as high as the height of the Kaaba. You are allowed to do tawaf on those platforms provided there is no space on the main floor. If the main floor is completely filled and you do not find, you are allowed to go to the platform and do tawaf. But then you have to come down again to say your namaz. Okay, this is the fatwa only for beginning last year they have done the platform. There is a second platform which is as high as Khana Kaaba. You cannot do that. You cannot do tawaf on that because you are not doing tawaf of Khana Kaaba. You are doing tawaf of the area above Khana Kaaba. Please keep this in mind. Then comes Sa'i after Umrah Tamattu comes Sa'i. Wudu is better but not required. So after namaz, you can go and renew your wudu. You can rest, for example, for 10-15 minutes. That's okay, and then do your Sa'i. Sa'i is just running. It's just going between Safa and Marwa, right? And there are those green pillars. Between those green pillars is mustab to just jog, right? So there is no need to climb all the way to the hill. Once you come at the end of the hill, just slightly up, you're completed. Go back, right? If you go to the end, you'll find a lot of rush and being pushed around. We don't know to that, no? So can be interpreted, and between salat and between salat can be interpreted if salat or tawaf are forgotten. Yeah. Let's say you are doing sa'i and you remember, oh, I forgot my tawaf salat. No? So you can go and say your salat and then continue your sa'i. Right? No need to climb the hilltop, especially when there is a lot of rush and pushing around. Men to hasten pace between the green pillars. Between the green pillars, they will just hasten their pace like as if they are joking. It's for men talk only, right? Many recommended du'as and are to be cited. You can take your book, you can recite, you can take your MP3 and listen to it, that's fine. No? But again, it's mustahab. Do not delay it to the next day after tawaf. Try to do sa'i the same day when you do your tawaf, right? So this is 28, and then Umrah Tamattu. After that comes Taqseer. There is no halak in Umrah Tamattu. Halak, that means you cannot shave your head. Just Taqseer. That's one thing. Better to cut hair than nail. Number one. Can be done back at the residence. This is for sisters. Let's say sisters, you forgot your scissor, right? Or you want to cut your hair, and what happens is that there are non-mahram there. So you want to go back and do your taqseer there, you can do that. You can do it yourself. This is very important. People think that you cannot do taqseer yourself. Somebody has to do it. No. You can do your own taqseer. That means after doing what sa'i, I can pull out a scissor from my pouch and just do taqseer, or I can also borrow a scissor from someone and do taqseer. That's fine. So it doesn't require that somebody else to do it for me. So what I would suggest that men folk can do it themselves, and then they can help the sister in such a way that they can hide their hair, right? After this, you are free from ihram. There is no tawafun nisa in Umrah Tamattu. Tawafun nisa is in Hajj Tamattu. Rest well, enjoy it, stay in Makkah and in Haram, and perform mustahab tawaf after this for as many times as you can. Try to do as many mustahab tawaf as possible while you are in Makkah. No. Again, please do not forget us in your du'as. If you happen to be there, make a point that we meet sometime somewhere. If you don't meet, fine. But please let us pray for each other, inshallah. I wish you all the best. Here it is. These are some of the books which we recommend you. Hajj by Ali Shariati, one of the best books. Even the Sunnis who don't use the Shia books, read this book. 1000 Roads to Makkah by Michael Wolff is a good book. It will give you the history of Makkah, how it goes. Panorama, Madina, these are some of the books, right? Pilgrims take following books with you. Pilgrim's Guide, Selected Supplication. Hajj and Umrah Made Easy by Ayatollah Sistani, translated by Maulana Rizvi, right? Said by Rizvi. Guide to performing Hajj and Umrah. Online Hajj resources. You go to our site, you'll find there are many resources on Hajj, inshallah. If anybody has a question, you can write. Although now we are running late, but I don't mind. If somebody has a pressing question, you can also send us the email if need be. This slide and the recording will be available, inshallah, on our site by tomorrow or day after, inshallah. If you have any questions now, you can ask. Otherwise, no, inshallah, we'll take your permission. Yes, you can do tafsir yourself. Cutting of hairs, you can do that, yes. Once you've done your sahi, you can do it yourself with the niyat of tafsir. If ihram becomes najis, how do you clean it? Of course, just go to the water, nearby water, and just take that part and wash it and squeeze it. No, wash it with running water and squeeze it 3 times and wash it again, right? You can do that. Yes, wearing of watch is allowed if that is requirement. For example, if a person wears watch all the time, or he needs for namaz time, now it is watch namaz time, or you need for just for your time, you can do that. Only if you are wearing watch for as a beauty or as a show off, then it's not allowed. If you face accidentally your back or Khana Kaaba, you are supposed to, your left side should be Khana Kaaba. So if you are just slightly make a mistake, don't worry. Just position yourself well and continue. But if you walked few steps whilst you're not facing the left, whilst your left side was not facing Khana Kaaba, if you've done such few steps, then you have to go back and continue. But it's not easy to go back. Are all maraj allowed taksir by yourself? I believe so, yes. But you can check with your marja. I believe so. It's nothing special. Yes, there is lot of rush in Safa and Marwa. You are correct. Then I would just suggest to you that what you do is that as you are walking towards Safa, as you are walking towards Marwa, just read whatever you can. If you can't read, just take an MP3 or iPod and listen to it. Yes, on our site, inshallah, available. If you are doing a mustab niyabat, yes, you can combine multiple niyat. If it is doing niyabat on somebody who is done wajib niyabat, not done Hajj every time. Let's say that my father never did for Hajj. I'm doing Hajj for himself, for him, as a wajib Hajj, can only one niyabat. But I've done my niyat, the Hajj, my father's done, my mother's done. Now it's my sunnat niyabat. I can combine as many people as I can. Are there provisions there to pay kafara? Yes, there are. Otherwise, you can even come back home and do that. But there are. For example, if you just go to the offices of Mushtahs and tell them that I've got certain kafara, now I have to pay, they will take from you the money or whatever it is. The address is www.academyofislam.com. I can't speak on behalf of your group leaders. Now there are different group leaders, brothers and sisters. I don't know which group you are going, but you have to ask your leaders. Yes, the level that is below the level of height of Khana Kaaba, you can perform tawaf on that, provided There is no space on the main level. And number two, you will go down to do your namaz. Can women wear silk? I'm not sure this one time. Sister, sorry. There will be massage for sisters at 2 p.m. I am not sure at this moment that women can wear silk or not. So inshallah, that will be covered in the afternoon. Is writing of will wajib, not wajib, but highly recommended, highly advised. Thank you very much. Please don't forget in the dua again. Inshallah, we will remember also you in the Hajj, inshallah.